Hello, welcome to the Somewhat Online Diaries podcast. My name is TheAngelOti and I'm your chief host here on this podcast. This is a space for young adults who are trying to navigate everyday struggles and want to hear honest talk on real issues regarding faith, life, friendships, money, and everything in between. This is a place where I'll be addressing different issues from my own perspective as a Christian who is also a young lady. So let's get right into it. For this debut episode, I decided to go a little bit personal and I'll be sharing some lessons or some things that I realize now that I should have been doing before. So, lessons from a 20-something-year-old. Okay. So, the first one is embracing spontaneity with less overthinking. I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't think so. But I'm someone who is a planner. So, think of me as your go-to person for events or administration work and, So if you're like me, you have a kindred spirit. But while that is great for running things, it can also mean that I get stuck in my head a lot. So maybe you're the kind of person who, instead of doing things, you're like, okay, so I have to have this plan and I'm going to do this business, but I'm going to launch it in 3 years. And so for the first year, this is what I'm going to be doing. Don't get me wrong, that is great in certain instances, but not all the time. Something I've learned is clarity comes from doing. So rather than sit down and say, oh, I want this thing to be perfect, just start. Just launch it. Launch that idea, start creating content, start that business, switch jobs. You're going to figure it out as you move. And if spontaneity is something that comes difficult for you, here's something you can do. Create a bucket list today and share it with your best friend, your close friends, and let them take it off for you. Or better yet, let them create the list for you. Now, please make sure that these people are people that actually love you and care about you and will not make you do outrageous things. But then that they know you well enough to be able to put things on that list that will push you out of your comfort zone. Now, another thing is friendships are important. I mean, imagine if you didn't have friends. Doing the bucket list with friends would be difficult, yeah? And that's a way that friends add color. They add color to your life. I say this, that my friends are the loves of my life. And this is a lesson I only learned a few years ago. I wish earlier in my late teens and early 20s that I actually understood that I can't do life alone. And so it's something that now rings in my head. I'm not always open to new friendships, but I try to nurture the ones I already have. So maybe I will do an episode later on friendships in adulthood and how different it is from when we were young. If that's something you would like to hear, please let me know. But you're going to most likely succeed based off the quality of your relationships. If you're looking for a job, do you know it's easier for you to find one if you have friends that are connected? If you're looking to do something, sometimes you don't have to buy something. For example, I was watching the most recent episode of Just As Girls, Just As Girls fans, and one of the characters had her sister locked up in a cell, but she needed money to bail her that she didn't have at the time. She was looking for money, almost compromised her values just to get the money. Meanwhile, all it took was her friend calling her dad and her dad calling someone and saying, oh, hey, go and pick your sister up. She's going to be released. That's a powerful example of how friendships really improve the quality of your life. So today, if you're struggling to make friends, start by saying hello. Start by talking to someone. When you go to church, when you go to the mall, when you go out to the movies or something, you can try going out by yourself and just being open to talk to people. Hey, you're going to meet frogs. I think I should say that. You're going to meet frogs. You're going to meet people that wouldn't exactly match your mojo. But as time goes on, it gets better and easier. And that thing is not letting shyness hold me back from trying new things. This is very much linked to the spontaneity thing. But also that, I don't know. Have you heard of the spotlight effect? I think it's stronger for me. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm just too much in my head. And the spotlight effect is that you think, just paraphrasing, is that you think that other people are watching you more than they actually are. And so you're conscious. It's giving main character, basically. And yes, you're the main character in your life, but then sometimes we care too much about how others perceive us or how we look in the public eye, and we don't want to do things that would make us look stupid, especially if this is something that you're probably going to fail at. But guess what? And I think somebody needs to hear this. Experts were once beginners. And so you are never going to get to the expert level if you don't try things. And so that's something I'm going to tell you today. Be more open-minded. Put yourself out there. Try new things. It's okay if you don't like it. Now you know. But guess what? If you never done it, you would never have known that that's something you could do, or that's something you didn't like, or that's something you like. So today, try new things. Maybe one thing every month, or to make it easier, every quarter. So in 3 months, you find one thing or a group of things that are closely linked together that you like or you've never done and you just want to try it out. Today, this is between now and December. We have about 3 months left. So find one thing or two things and just say, oh, I've never done this before, and for some reason I've just been holding myself back. And maybe it's not finances, something within your budget, obviously, but just something new that you get to do that just opens you up to a world of new experiences. The next thing that I've learned, or that I wish that I did, was share my gifts with people instead of waiting till things are perfect. Perfectionists in the house like me, come, let me tell you something. Perfectionism is not from God. Yes, it is not from God at all. So today, reject it. Say, I remove perfectionism and I drop it because it's not my load to carry. This is something that I don't know if it's linked for me being the eldest daughter. I'm the eldest daughter, the eldest child, eldest grandchild on my mom's side. So you can imagine, right? It's something that, you get told from a very young age. You're an example to your siblings. You have to set an example to your siblings. So your siblings are watching you. Or in my case, like my brother and I were the only siblings. We're the only children my parents had for a long time. There's a long gap between my last sibling. But from a very young age, because the gap between my brother and I is not too much, I kept hearing that. And there is so much that your parents expect from you as the first child. And somehow you carry that into your own life, even when you don't have to live for them anymore. It's a weight that we need to learn to drop, because it is keeping us in a place of stagnancy. If you're someone who wants things to be perfect, maybe you have a different reason for your perfectionism. It's that you just admire the things that people put out and the excellent work, and you think you doing anything less is just very shabby and should not be done. That's a lie. That's a lie. Yeah? I want you to know that you can only improve when you do things. So today, put out that cringe content. Have you seen some things on social media? Do you know that some people blow these days because of very things that are very cringe-worthy things, and then they are now sensations, and they use those platforms that they now have to build other things? That's something that we should emulate. That's something to copy today. So post that cringe content. If you're singing and you don't know how to sing well, just start singing. you don't know, you're probably going to get comments. And I'm not saying you should do this just for this, right? But sometimes people get deals, they get mentorship sessions just because they consistently show up online. I mean, experts in their fields will tell you to publicly show your work. Show your work, put your work online, talk about what you do. So that's something I want you to take today. If this is something you've struggled with, I mean, some people are pros at this, and if you're a pro, please drop a comment for someone so that they could know what to do. But yes, share your gifts even when it is in the raw state and refine it as you go. This one is a little personal, and it's that I wish I loved my body more. Body dysmorphia is something that affects more people, and not just women, because many times it's women that, get to be the faces, but also men. And it's something that affects most people. It's something that I struggled with. It's something that I still occasionally struggle with, but I've been able to find a better balance to it. And so if you're like me, this is something I want to tell you. Please love your body. Love and appreciate the vessel that is carrying you through life. Yeah, you want a different body type, and you want something else that you're seeing, and you don't like your arms, you don't like your legs, you don't like your belly. I understand. I'm not saying that you cannot improve, but for where you are right now, please be appreciative of the vessel that's carrying you. Be thankful that you're healthy. Be thankful that you're alive. Be thankful that you're still here. And maybe I should give you some tips, some things that helped me. Maybe, just maybe, it's not your body. Maybe it's that you're forcing yourself to fit into clothes that are not made for you. So today, start learning to style yourself based off your body type. This is a tip I saw years ago when I was watching videos on styling. And it's that find the celebrity that has the exact body type that you do and dresses in the way, and just see how their stylist dress them. I mean, people pay money. They pay a lot for their stylist. So you might as well just, you're getting expert advice for free. Look at their pictures, look at their videos when they go out, what they wear. What do you think looks good on them? What do you think that they wear that aligns with your own values? Again, you can't copy every single thing. But yes, that's something to do. Another thing is maybe you need to watch what you eat. Maybe you need to do portion control. Maybe this is something that's going to help you feel better. I think if you pick something that you can control, it becomes easier to say, okay, as much as my body is, not where I want it to be, this is something I can control in a moment. And also add exercising. Don't kill yourself, but if you really don't like your body now and you think exercising is something that is going to, help you, then yes, try that. I'm still not sure on cosmetic surgery. But if that's what you want to do and it's not like you're altering yourself, maybe like a liposuction, a breast reduction surgery, and you can afford it, then you can try for it. But until you get there, until you are able to reach, maybe drop down sizes or go up sizes, just please love where you are right now. Now this one, as someone who has always been around older people, this was something that I unconsciously imbibed. And it was that I struggled to enjoy where I was, and I was always looking to people that were older than me. So my childhood is a blur. I don't really remember a lot. And I was a quiet child, so that even made it worse. But I struggled to have fun for my age because I was always the youngest in my class. I was always the youngest by month, by a year at least, up until university. And so from primary school till university, I was always the youngest in my class, or one of the youngest. And that meant that I had access to people that were older than me. In fact, my friends in uni were like 2 years ahead of me. And so when they graduated, I kind of struggled because I didn't have friends in school anymore. That's how I have been, and it's a struggle because I then begin to look at them. I begin to want to imbibe where they are. Oh, this person is doing this, that. Why am I not doing it? And I forget that I'm running my own race, running at my own pace. And so, learn to have fun, please. Learn to have fun for where you are. Yes, you don't have the money you want. Yes, you can't take the vacations every other person is taking. Can you travel from Lagos to Abeokuta? Do that. Can you travel to Ibadan for a day and come back? Yes, travel. Make content around it and enjoy it. Yeah, while still aspiring for better things, you can learn to appreciate and enjoy, not just say, okay, this is where I am, but actually enjoy where you are at that time. Another thing is, I used to beat myself up so much for mistakes, and I wish I did that less. I think this is, linked to the perfectionist point where you don't want to fail. And when you fail, you put yourself down so much. Maybe you tried public speaking or debating in secondary school and you stammered and people made fun of you and you said, oh, you're never going to do it. Maybe you tried something new with your friend and they laughed at you. Yeah, it was a joke, right? But it got to you, and ever since then, you've been very careful of, doing things that make you look stupid. Guess what? You're going to make mistakes. There is no way you're going to have a long and full life without making mistakes. In fact, something people don't like to hear, you're going to hurt people. You're going to botch things up. You're going to mess a lot of things up. And this is not an advice for you to be a bad person. If you're a bad person, this is not the podcast. This is not the point for you, okay? But it's that when you realize that to err is really human, you give yourself a lot more grace. And you begin to try new things without worrying about whether or not, you fail. And when you fail, you realize, oh, then let me fail more, right? I was listening to MI recently on his episode on Creatorium, and he said that he gives himself a failure quota. And that's something that's very interesting and something I think I'm going to adopt. What am I going to fail at this week? Because when you put that first, it removes the pressure to be perfect. It removes the pressure to want to make things like, oh, I'm going to fail. Okay, so because you realize that in failure comes knowledge, and knowledge is power. When you fail, you realize, oh, this thing failed because I did it like this. Next time I'm going to do it like this. And next time it may work or might not work. And if it doesn't work, you say, oh, so now this other thing, yeah? I mean, think about relationships. When you date more people, you begin to realize, oh, so I don't like to be treated like this. And maybe I had this notion, but maybe it's not that important to me. This other thing is more important to me. And that's something that everybody should try to adopt. I wish I got new hobbies and spent time maybe doing other things that I already enjoyed. I don't know. I think this is interesting for me because I don't have a lot of hobbies, partly because of some of the things I've said, but there are some things that I genuinely enjoy doing that I realized for some reason I didn't do them as much. Maybe you feel like hobbying is time wasting. I put it to you that it is not. You cannot spend all your life doing everything only because it generates money for you. There's some things in life that you're going to do because you enjoy them, and it's fine, and there's no pressure. Like, in this activity, you are not the banker that you are. You are not the creative that you are that does it for money. You're just doing this thing because you enjoy it. I think everybody needs to find one thing or a few things that they enjoy and do solely for enjoyment. Maybe it's coloring, maybe it's writing, maybe it's singing, maybe it's dancing, And please don't tell yourself that you're not artistic. Don't say, oh, I'm not artistic enough to enjoy this, then I don't have a creative mind. It's a lie. You do. If you find something, again, some of the things we've talked about, if you find something to do, you would along the way figure out, oh, I really enjoy this thing and I think I should add this to like more of my routines. Maybe on the weekends, nights after work, I can indulge in this thing for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but do something that refreshes you and is just for you. Yeah, the next thing is comparison will steal your joy. And this is something I really want to emphasize, especially because of the day and age that we are in now. In 2019, I heard a speech on how comparison will steal your joy. And it really resonated with me. But guess who doesn't remember every time? Me. And I know I'm not the only one, because there's so much access to other people's lives on social media now that you probably think, this person is my age and they're doing this thing. Why am I not doing this? But you forget that maybe this person has family support. Maybe this person has a cushion. Maybe this person had access to opportunities that you're only just finding about now. Or maybe they were born in a different country. Hello, my Nigerians. Maybe because of the color of their skin, it was easier for them to do these things. And this is not to give excuses to you on why you shouldn't be doing the things that you should have been doing. But it's just to say, relax, okay? Do the calms and calm down. You are where you are. And there's this Igbo proverb that says, where you wake up is your morning. So if you're waking up now, wake up and face your own race. You can't be running your race and be looking to the side. Imagine if Usain Bolt used to do that. He's not going to be the fastest man. He's not going to be the fastest sprinter for so many years. That's something you need to know. You're running your own race. You're on your own journey. Focus on it. Compare yourself to your older version. So this is who I was in 2022. And this is who I am in 2025. What is the difference? Not, I'm here, but Mr. Lagbaja is doing all these ones, and me, I've never done it. Please remove pressure from yourself. Another thing, and this is, we're getting to the end of the episode, that I wish that I did was celebrate my birthdays more. For some reason, for a few years now, in fact, not just a few years, right? But probably since 2018, I've been struggling with birthday blues and birthday depression. And I'm fine mostly up until maybe the night before my birthday or the week before my birthday. And I start saying, oh my God, this is where I am, forgetting that you only get one birthday in a year. And now I know that this is something that a lot of people face because, hey, the internet. And I mean, except you are born on February 29th. Sorry to my leap year babies. But if you weren't born then, you get a birthday every year. So you have to celebrate it. And even people that were born February 29th, guess what? They celebrate their birthdays. I think February 28th or March 1st, depending on what they want. That's something. You were born, you are alive, you have breath in your lungs, you are doing things, whether small, whether big. Appreciate it. This whole thing that it has to be a milestone birthday for you to celebrate it is a lie. And by celebrate, I don't mean go on vacation, throw lavish parties. No, but just mark it in a way for you. Even if, like me, you're probably going to work in your birthday, it's fine, right? Just do something for you. And I don't know. I very much believe in marking occasions with something small, something big, whatever you have the capacity for, right? And so the idea that people don't celebrate things like Valentine's Day is just interesting to me. And that's all I would say. But yes, please, for your birthday, even if maybe you don't want to do lavish things, just do something that says, okay, this was the day God gifted me. God gifted the world me. And I have to celebrate this day. The last thing is realizing that no one and absolutely nothing can fill up the God-sized void in my life other than God. This is very important to realize that you're always going to feel dissatisfied if you are looking for other things like drugs, alcohol, women, men, money, career, thrills, to fill up this hole that you don't seem to understand. because we were created to be in communion and fellowship with God. That's something to focus on. In this month, as you listen to this podcast, something I want you to do is, how's my relationship with God been like? How's my prayer life been like? How has my study life been like? And if it hasn't been great, this is the time to start. If you've not prayed in a while, this is the time to pray. If you've not studied in a while, this is the time to do that. And if you've been doing it, this is the time to add more fire. You're going to realize that you cannot do life without God, and that you cannot be disconnected from your source. And all that you need, all that you ever need to walk in life is already with God. And when you have a relationship with Him, you get to access this. And I'm not saying talk to God because you need money and you need a career, you need a job, or you need a wife or a husband or something. Those things are great, but seek God for God. Seek Him for Him. Desire to have a relationship with Him that is just like the relationship you have with your friends. I don't think that you're friends with your friends simply because of what they can give to you, right? So yes, this is something I want to leave you with. Please, please, please yearn and actively work towards having a relationship with God. So these are the lessons that I have learned in my 20-something years. These are the things that I am actively trying to revise and rework and do better. So please let me know, what are your own lessons? What did you get from this episode? And I'll see you in the next one. But before we go, I'd like to pray for you. Heavenly Father, thank you very much for this one who's listening to this episode right now. I thank you because you are someone who doesn't care about all our life experiences to fit into your plan for us eventually. I ask that no matter the journey that this person has had, no matter how tough or easy it has been, that you work everything to fit into your plan, because we know that all things work together for good to them that love God. Pray, O Lord, that you lead these ones, you direct them, you help them, you strengthen them and endue them with wisdom and power to navigate life. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, bye, and see you in the next episode.